I'd rather pay $2,400 in rent than $2,400 in mortgage. Because I can get out of that rent every 10 months. That mortgage is 30 years.
I got a buddy that's always busting my chops. He's a homeowner and thinks it's an asset. He's like, my mortgage is $3,500. He's like, your rent is $4,700. And I was like, yeah, but our refrigerator breaks this evening. I put a little thing in our portal. New fridge is getting dollied up. It's a fixed cost.
He's not counting his HOA fees. He's not counting property taxes. He's not counting out of control insurance. He's not counting maintenance. It's 1% a year. Okay. Property taxes in Florida are 2% a year. So that's 3 points every year. I would rather pay 7% on a mortgage that a renter pays than 3% on my home that I pay.
That's crazy. I mean, it obviously depends on what market you're in, but I wouldn't agree with that, because if you're paying $2,400 in rent, but you're living in
in Tampa, that's what, 2 or 3 bedroom, depending on the area, apartment.
Yeah, hold on. Let me make sure I get my math right. Okay, so I don't agree with it because it depends on your portfolio. Like, how are you increasing your net worth? I think heavily depends on whether you should rent or you should own. If you only want to increase your net worth through property, then it's smarter to own than rent. I think it also comes down to how long do you plan on being in the area? Like, do you plan on living in that city for the next 30 years? Because most people, like, they own a house for like 10 years and then, you refinance or you move and then you get upside down in the next house because it's even more expensive. I'm starting to think home ownership is a Ponzi scheme. There's no winning either way. If you rent, you could end up renting from a slumlord who your AC goes out and it might take a week or 2 to fix. You could own a house that ends up having a roofing issue that you now immediately have to come up with the money to repair. Also HOA, dealing with hurricanes if you're in that area, tornadoes, dealing with insurance, because after even finding out that some insurance companies scam you and you think you're actually going to get, the full value for your insurance claim, and then they end up undercutting you, saying materials cost this and it costs that, and then they end up raising the rates on you anyway. So it's
insurance is a scam.
I say it depends on how you want to grow your net worth. That determines if you want to be a homeowner or not. Because if you rent and rent is lower than what you would pay for a mortgage, then you can use that difference to invest in, assets like the stock market, or invest in bonds, or invest in CDs or something like that. But if you want to pay the higher mortgage because you want to actually own a property, you want to be able to pay it off and, not have any payments after, then that's also a smart decision. But it depends on how long you plan on staying in that area. It also depends on the economics of your job, depending on if your job is going to be obsolete and you're going to have to pivot, or it's on an incline and everybody's going to be looking for people like you. So
there's a lot of factors, but I feel like regardless, it's cheaper to rent. For the exact examples that other guy gave, which is just like, if something breaks, if something whatever, it's someone else's problem to come out of their pocket to fix it. It's not up to me. Of course, unless you put a hole through the wall or something that you clearly, you damaged something, then most likely, unless your lease is just painted with gold, you're gonna have to pay for that. But everything else, like you said, the roof, the HOA, the taxes, you're constantly coming out of pocket for your house. And even if you get a new build, I used to help manage, a whole multiple developments. And it doesn't matter that house was built last year. People are starting to try to go to the builder and sue because they already have cracks in their stucco and stuff like that shouldn't be already happening. But they're also using lesser quality products to build houses now because all they want to do is go around, build it up, move on, build it up, move on, build it up. They don't care if that house can withstand a hurricane or not.
I was about to say, it's actually smarter if you build it up with cheap materials and then, have people that you have, what's the word? It's like verified contractors So then you have people that are in roofing, you have people that, and then like it's a whole economic business that you started based off your poor quality. So,
sure, but at the end of the day, things have warranty. Your certain appliances and things have warranty. Even your trees, a lot of times planted out back or out front, have warranties. Not very long, but regardless. So if they die and you've only lived in this house for a month and they've only been planted for 2 and they're supposed to last at least whatever, you can go, back to the builder who goes back to whoever about it. So,
most those are questions you actually have to ask while you're purchasing the home. What is included? What isn't included?
People don't usually don't ask that. Real estate agents out here, not everybody obviously, but a good few that I've had to come across being a cam, like they just omit. And we have a bunch of prospective buyers always calling our management office wanting to know, like, what's the document say about this? What does the covenant say about this? Because even though the documents are public knowledge, public record, you call, you ask, here you go, they're free. At least in Florida, you can read them for yourself if you have questions, of course. But regardless of all that, your realtor's not letting you know anything. We can let you know as much as we can, but there's just so many things. People don't know to ask. And then they move into things like an HOA and they get upset with certain things. And it's like, well, as soon as you sign the deed, you agree to everything on here. You cannot complain. Okay? So, I don't know. House ownership, for me, being a cam, just seems like a scam.
Let's say scream scam.
It screams scam. It does.
But at the same time,
because not every house you get is going to be brand new built with your customizations. You're most likely going to go buy a house that's been sitting there for a while, and that's even more issues that you have to come forward with.
The main argument is always, well, you can't build equity in rent. If you rent somewhere for 5 years, all that money is gone. If you put that money into a house for 5 years, you can pull some of it out. And usually the argument to that is, it depends.
Right? Like, it's still hoops you have to drop, go through. I'm sure there's probably penalties associated.
Yeah, because they say you don't pay off, you don't go net positive until like year 19 into a year 30 or into a 30-year mortgage. So you're still paying into a house, and if that house isn't appreciating, then you could end up being upside down really quick. But as we know, we're in a very hot market right now where it's a seller's market, so housing is on the rise, but that doesn't mean it's going to always stay that way.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of guarantees that people think will happen in life that we will be extremely wrong about.
Yeah.
So all I have to say is based off of your lifestyle and how you're trying to grow your net worth should determine whether you rent or own. But owning seems to be a scam that has gotten so many people for that American dream.
And people still going for saving. That's understandable,
Mm-hmm.
especially if you didn't have that growing up or whatever. It's totally understandable. It's just seeing my parents and them having to just the wind came through with that last hurricane. Thankfully, didn't do anything. But some shingles came off. Gotta fix that. The refrigerator finally conked out. Thankfully, it's warranty after the guy came and fixed it the first time. Now he's been back 6 other times to fix it. You know what I mean? It's just, now the oven's going kaput.
Hey, buy better quality, you won't have those problems.
It lasted for 10 years.
There you go.
But that's it. Your mortgage is 30, but your appliances only last for 5 to 10. If you got the money, just, up and be like, new washer dryer. Like, no. You still got your car. You still got your car insurance. You still got your health insurance, your groceries, your kids. And now on top of that, here's this whole big investment thing that requires constant care and maintenance, which costs from you compared to living and renting somewhere where it's like, my rent is due the 1st. There you go. Moving on with whatever else I got. Instead of having to have like this whole different reserve savings situation going on, to responsibly being able to know, driveway pressure cleaning yearly, the roof every 10 years, hopefully, or less or more, whatever. Having to keep those reserves in check so that when stuff happens, you're not in the red.
Yeah, and I also say it's easier to downsize and upgrade when you're renting, because once your lease is up, you're free to go wherever you want to go.
You know what it takes to break that lease.
Right. So like if rent's $2,400 and you can no longer afford that, you can drop down to like $1,200. But if your mortgage is $2,400 and you lose your job, it's gonna still be $2,400 regardless of your financial situation. So yeah, I mean, I once again, I definitely think it depends on your financial situation. But if you're a person that doesn't see themselves being in the same city for 30 years, then homeownership will probably be a scam. Because even if you rent out the tenants, that doesn't guarantee that the tenants are going to take care of your property or pay on
You still got maintenance. You still got to maintain it. Now you're a landlord, and now your job, regardless of you living up in there benefiting or not, you now have to. Which means you're going to have to overcharge for rent.
Yep.
Can't go too far because at least in Florida, everywhere's rental properties. And so a family knows on Zillow to find, oh, next door is this, so I'm going next door. You just lost that on tenants. And even still, AC comes out, that's all you. So irregardless, your tenants are sitting pretty and you have all the responsibility regardless because you own that house.
Good luck to you.
That's it.